Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. It's been a while and I took a happy break from hobby. I think the last video which I uploaded was a month ago, and throughout this time I had been busy. When I'm mentioning that I'm taking a break from hobby, it doesn't mean I'm simply giving up on my hobby or simply throwing away all my planted tanks and fish. It's simply I am not able to currently give attention to my hobby as I used to do before. The reason for my lack of attention towards my hobby is a pleasant one, and maybe in some other video I'll talk about it. But even with this lack of attention and bare minimum care, I am still quite pleased to see how exactly my plants and fish are doing. So I quickly thought of giving you a rundown of what had been going on with this 50-gallon planted tank and how, in spite of my attention and lack of maintenance, it's still thriving, as you can see in front of you. As you know, it's been almost 4 years I have set up this planted tank. I did tweak the scape a couple of times, but more or less the plants, the fish and everything in the tank remain the same. For last 1 month I am not able to pump CO2 in this tank. There had been no water change and no such maintenance had been going on in this planted tank. If you follow me in this particular channel, you know how much I love injecting CO2 in my planted tank, and I highly advocate use of CO2 in planted tank. As per my experience, it establishes the balance of plants and the growth due to CO2 injection had been enormous as per my experience. So when I am mentioning for last 1 month I am not able to pump CO2 in this planted tank, so you might be able to understand that I really don't have much time to devote to my hobby or this planted tank. But with my surprise, I can see there is not much change. Definitely the plants are not that happy as they used to be with the injection of CO2, but they haven't yet melted as well. There had been no fertilizer dosing in this planted tank, as well as there had been a significant lack of water change. Before shooting this video, I just cleaned the glass and did a partial water change just to make it presentable. So how exactly the plants and the inter tank had been doing so well even with such negligence? So what is the secret behind all this? If you ask me, as per my experience, I'll give credit to its long running ecosystem. This tank had been running for near about 4 years, and this is an established tank. Due to its long running length, the entire ecosystem had been built in such a way so that any changes or any lack of maintenance is readily absorbed without any significant damages to the entire ecosystem or plants or fish. So far I did see a couple of leaves turning yellow, and that is expected. The old leaves will fall apart and it will die down in order to make place for the new leaves. in case of Java fern and Trident fern, but I haven't seen any meltdown of plants or any significant yellowing or melting of leaves. There is no such impact of algae in the system as well. Please note, it's a high-tech system with injected CO2 and fertilizer. So with the lack of CO2 and fertilizer, the system is still running pretty smooth. And I am not seeing any invasion of any type of algae whatsoever. So this is basically the benefit of keeping your tank for long term. I have seen in our aquascaping hobby, people tend to actually rescape after 6 to 9 months, which I think to some extent acceptable, keeping their creative conscious in mind. They want to try something new, they want to try a new scape. But as per my experience, the benefit of keeping a tank for long term is enormous. Even with this lack of maintenance, I can still see the diamond tetras are still breeding, and I'm still seeing small fries popping up here and there. So I hope with this experience I can conclude very much that keeping a planted tank for long term has its own benefits, and when you're taking a quick break from hobby, during that time these benefits appears as a lifesaver. I hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you next time. Till then, take care and goodbye.